Hey, good evening. This is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I am known as your procrastination strategist, your behavior change expert, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and you got it. Get your dreams out of your head into your life. Happy Wednesday to you. I pray that you have had an amazing day. Just ended an amazing training, was a part of an amazing training. And so I thought that it would be great. Good evening, Faith. Thank you so much for joining. I see you are moving and grooving and doing some amazing things. Congratulations to you. Super excited for the things that you're doing. I watch you, and it's grateful, so grateful to know you and see that you're doing well, and even to know that there is so much more to be done, so much more that you're going to do. So tonight, I just want to come on and I want to ask you, are you preparing? Are you preparing for your next move? God is on the move. I so agree with that. I think he has some amazing things in store for those that are ready. Good evening, Apostle Eric. Thank you so much for joining. I think that he has some amazing things for those that are willing and ready to put the time in, because this stuff is out here for us to have, to get, to be, and do. And I know that there are a lot of things that are going on in our world, but I think a lot of so many people are spending so much time on the negative. A lot of times we don't get the spotlight on the things that are happening good. We highlight all the bad and all of the struggles and all these different sorts of types of things. But I challenge the listening audience to, to start looking within and ask, how am I preparing for my next move? How are you preparing for your next move? What are you doing to make things better for you? What are you doing to be able to respond, to react, to be able to take advantage of opportunities? What are you doing in order for you to be able to go to the next level? Because this is what I see. When we are going through some things, a lot of times we sit back and we just complain and we complain and complain. But I think a lot of times there's a lot of complaints because there is no preparation. I'm going to say that again. There's a lot of complaints because there's no preparation. Because people that are, a lot of times we cannot forecast when things are happening, right? We can't all the time forecast when things are happening or going to happen, but we can be better prepared for it if we have some capacity of preparation. If we are somewhat not ready, but that we can respond and that it not take us out. And I think a lot of times we think we have so much time left, it's not going to happen to us. It's not a big deal. We don't have to deal with this thing right now. But we find that, a lot of people are not prepared for things that we have already been given warnings to. There's always a warning before destruction. It says that the Lord would open you to his good treasure, the heavens, to give the rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hands. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. Deuteronomy 28:12. Good evening, Tolerance. Thank you so much for posting that, Faith. You have to realize that, that it ain't all bad that is going on, and that waters will be given. Treasures are being opened. There are things happening that are good right here. Right here. We don't have to go far. There are some good things happening right in the midst of all this other stuff that is going on. But as I said earlier this week, we have to ask ourselves, what are we focusing on? You know, a lot of times we can look at the same thing but have a different perspective, because there is always an equal opposite. When you think about the law of polarity, and when there's a lot going on, when there's a lot of bad, there's a lot of good. And if you just focus on the things that are happening bad and what's not going right, you're overlooking what is going right. You're overlooking what is good. You're overlooking what could be. So my challenge for you tonight is, to check where you're focusing. To check where you're focusing. Sometimes you have people, they just sit around and literally talk about nothing. I mean, like literally talk about nothing. Nothing that is going to move them forward. Nothing that is going to get them out. They just stay stewing in that same old thing. Good evening, Belinda. Thank you so much for joining. Sit around and talk about a bunch of nothing. I put a post out there earlier today. I said, some of the people you talk to, they talk too much. And it's one thing in reading that, but when you hear it, that you have some people that you have conversation with and they run their mouth entirely too much. Not that they're going back and repeating what you're saying. Not even that. They talk too much. Talk too much about what they don't know. Talk too much and complain too much about what is bad, what is not going to work, what is not happening, what's not enough, what is not possible. They talk entirely too much. And what you do, not you, somebody else. But when you listen to that, that's why it is so important to guard your ear gate. Because when you are around a lot of people, good evening, Renetta, thank you so much for joining. When you're around a lot of people that's always negative, never have nothing good to say, never think nothing is possible, never believe that nothing will work, never have anything good to say, you can be a strong person, but it's like in those vulnerable moments, it's like at the right time. It's like when you're going through, you start listening at that stuff that they're talking about and listening at the things that they're saying, and it began to get in you. Good evening, Shakita. Good evening, Princess. Thank you so much for joining. I see we got several states that are represented on here tonight. I see we got Florida on here, Tennessee. I know we got Georgia, New York on here. You all are on here. We have Mississippi on here. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining. But you have to think about what you're thinking about. And some people may get tired of hearing me say that, but it is so important for you to guard your gates. Therefore, be careful how you walk, not as unwise men, but as wise. Ephesians 5:5. Come on now. You have to think about what you are thinking about. You have to really think about what you're thinking about. And you have to think about what you're listening to. You have to be mindful and very conscious on what you allow to be placed in your spirit, what you allow to be placed in your space, what you allow to be placed in your mind, in your thoughts. Because when things are already not going right, and you're listening at somebody talking all of that stuff that don't make matters better, but a lot of times they make them worse. So I want to know, what I want to challenge you. This is the season for us to be ready. We have to be ready. It's time out for waiting till something happen before we start trying to get ready. And do you know that there will come a time that you will not have time to prepare? Why not get ready when you don't need to be ready? Why not have it when you don't need it? Why not learn to do it when you don't have to? So when you're called upon to do the thing, you would have some familiarity with it. You would have some ability for it. You would have some desire to do it. We wait and we wait and we wait because we think that we have time. How many of us know time waits on no man? How many of us know? It really seemed like we just rolled into 2021. We just came out of 2020. We just got in January. We're halfway through February. We're almost through the first quarter of a new year. Time is waiting on no man. We have power outages. We're having snow, more snow than most people than ever seen. We're having rain. We're having this. We're having that. We're having so many things. Good evening, good morning, Bishop. You're joining us from, I'm pretty sure, the Action Speaks Sewing Center in Pakistan. God bless you. God bless you. We have Pakistan on with us tonight. So it says, watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. We don't know. We don't have all this time that we've had. I don't believe we have as much time as we've had, because we can see that the times are telling that we are closer and closer and closer to the end. Yeah, who knows when the end is going to be? We know it said we don't know the day, we don't know the hour, we don't know. But we have to be ready since we don't know. Since we don't know, we have to be ready. So we have to prepare ourselves. Prepare your minds, prepare your hearts, prepare your households, prepare your legacy, prepare your families. We have to be prepared. We are not prepared because we think that we have all this time. We think that we have all this time, that we are not honing into our value. We're not living the life of our dreams. We're not living, to our full potentials. We're not living the life that we desire and deserve. It is time for us to live that life that we desire and that we deserve. It is time for us to get off the struggle bus. It is time for us thinking that it gotta be hard. It don't have to be hard. Sometimes, I know sometimes we make it hard. Can we just be real? Sometimes we make it hard. Watching from Pakistan, Action Speaks Volume. God bless you, Bishop. Sometimes we make life harder than what it could be. Because, see, we think that we got to go the long way around. We got to do the super deep thing. We got to do the solo thing. We make it more complicated than it is necessary for it to be. Do you know that he said that he came to give us life and to give it to us, not just to give us life, but to give it more abundantly so that we can have joy and peace and happiness. It's not meant for us to be on this struggle bus. I need you to prepare yourself. I want you to be prepared. Stop thinking, if we haven't seen nothing and if we haven't seen enough yet, what is it going to take? I'm trying to, I've been just in my mind today. I've been just thinking, what is it going to take for us to move in a different direction? I mean, COVID has been a whole year now. Can you believe it? A whole year. Good evening, Mother Webbs. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. We have New Orleans in the house. Louisiana in the house. You think that we've had a whole year of COVID. COVID is not over. The pandemic is not over. We got the pandemic still going on, COVID-19 going on. We're talking about vaccinations, politics, and all these different sorts of types of things, and, stimulus checks and all these things. There are some things that we need to be working on. There's some things that we need to be doing. Are you preparing yourself, your family, your legacy? Are you preparing yourself for the next level? Or are you just complaining about the things that are happening, that are going on? Are you saying that they're not fair, it's not right, and you're not complying? I know for us in Arkansas, and I don't know where else, but I know there has been places even where they have asked us to, decrease our usage in electricity and gas and all these different sorts of types of things. And you got people that have the attitude that you paying the bill and you going to use your stuff, but we're not looking out for the masses. And then when they cut our stuff off, we're going to be looking funny. Because there are some things that we can do. All this TV watching that we do, there's nothing on there constructive anyway. You can pick up you some books. You can turn some of them lights off. You don't have to have no TV on in every room. And I know for somebody, they think that I'm all over the place, but I am right where I need to be. This is still a part of preparation. A lot of times we want to separate. We want to separate our personal life from our business life, from our work life. You're one and the same. All of it is one and together. You cannot be one person in church and one person at home and one person on the job and one person. You are all one and the same. Listen, we cannot be like the children of Israel. The promised land was only an 11-day journey, and yet they wandered in the desert for 40 years because they were not obedient to God's direction. Let's heed to the lessons and move when God says move. God is speaking to us and telling us to move, and we are not moving. And I guess, sometimes I just be thinking to myself, and I know I'm not God, but if you just get creative and thinking, he probably be thinking these, and I know he love all of us and all these different sorts of types of things, but he probably be thinking, I done showed them, we know what he can do. And we keep going through thing after thing after thing after thing. When is it that we're going to wake up to know that he's in control? He is in control. And all this stuff that we're experiencing and going through, if he wanted to, he can stop it tomorrow. Tomorrow can be a sunny day. Tomorrow can be a rainy day. Tomorrow can be a cloudy day. It can be a snowy day. It can be a wet day. It can be a dry day, a dark day. Whatever he wanted to do, it can be just that. It can be that. It can be whatever he wanted it to be. And our lives can be what he wanted to be. And that's why God is God, because he figured he can do whatever he want to do. He don't owe us an explanation. But how many warnings? How many warnings do we need before we take heed to the direction? So I just want to know, I'm getting ready to get off here. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm getting ready to prepare for bed. But I just want to know, are we preparing? Are we preparing? Are we preparing for the next level? Or are we going to stay stuck doing the same old thing, getting the same old result, and just sit back and complain about it week after week, month after month, year after year? We keep on complaining that life is not getting better. We're not getting better. When we get better, life will get better. When the actions we take get better and they become different, we will see different results. We will start to be successful. We will begin to accomplish. We will start to hit our targets, accomplish our dreams. We will start to get the things that we desire, achieving things. And it's not just about achievements to be seen, but see, we achieve things to do. See, a lot of times when we're doing things, it's not about the money. If you can do a thing, and I said this earlier this week or last week, if you can do a thing and not see money, you still get the same excitement but not having to touch money. We're in this digital world where you're using your card, you're using, cryptocurrency, you're using your Ether coins, you're using your Bitcoin, you're using your Discoin, you're using that. We're doing this digital thing. You don't never have to see a big head hunted a day in your life, as long as you're able to trade the thing to get the good that you desire, the service that you desire. You don't care if it's plastic or if it's paper. You don't care if it's a check. It don't have to be $1, a $5, a $10, a $20. It don't have to be a $50 bill. It don't have to be a $100 bill. If you have access to the digital payment, you never have to see the money. How many times have you really traded money? Most people are doing everything on their debit and credit card, right? You're doing things on your debit and credit, or you're doing it through your app, your Cash App. You're doing it through your Square. You're doing it through your Stripe. You're doing it through your Swipe. You're doing it through your this and your that. You don't have to see the money, but it's not about the money. It's about what the money can do. It is about your security, your freedom. It is about what you can do with the money. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you was better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more wisdom. Jim Rohn. I love it. I love it. Because things are not going to get better. They're not going to go back the same. And who want all that dysfunction that we had anyway? We don't need things to go back the same. Think about from a phone line. You know, they used to have tin cans and strings, and then they went to the, the dialing thing. And, think about your cell phones. They had phones in the bag with the big antennas, and then they went to the other kind of phones, and the big phones, and then the flip phones, and then the disc phones, and then you don't want to go back to where you was, because, see, there was a time when social media wasn't. There was a time when the World Wide Web wasn't. There was a time where you couldn't talk to people from all over the world. You couldn't do FaceTime. We couldn't do Facebook. We couldn't do lives where you are where you are and I'm where I am and we can see each other live. There was a time we wasn't flying. We was not driving. There was a time that a lot of conveniences that we use and take for granted, they wasn't here. But they're not going anywhere. If anything, they're going to add more stuff. And we have to be prepared. We got to get out of this stuck place of doing things the way we've always done it and think that we're going to propel to the next level. You have to be willing to change, because sometimes change is good. Look, I'm getting ready to get out of here. If you're new to me, this is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I am known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and you got it. Get your dreams out of your head into your life. You need somebody like me in your life to get you off the couch, to stop the procrastinating, stop gon' do, fin to, ought to, should to, want to, and all those things, until doing. It's time to do. It is time to be prepared. So look, get at your girl. I'm out of here. I will talk to you later. Talk to you later. Good night, and I pray that you have an amazing night. Good night.